They say it's time to talk about devil fruits, so let's talk about devil fruits. I held off on throwing out speculation until the vaunted official translations were out. They normally have everything we need. I mean, they weren't different, honestly, but we'll use them today as a source of reference for devil fruits, or what I'm probably going to call them going forward when I'm by myself, desire fruits. Before One Piece chapter 1069 and 1070, here's what we knew about devil fruits. And again, I will get into what we found out in these chapters, but just here's the baseline for it, okay? We go all the way back to chapter 19 in the Shanks and Buggy flashback. Shanks says that they say, devil fruits are enchanted by the sea devils, and whomever eats it gets amazing powers, but the sea turns against them. Nothing crazy considering it could be folklore made up since devil fruit users can't swim, but still important because it's coming full circle based on what we know now. Through Toki, who was born 800 years ago, we know at least they've been existing since back then. We know devil fruits are more common in the Grand Line in comparison to the other blues, especially the East Blue. Luffy, right? He faced in the East Blue 3 devil fruit users, while pretty much everyone in the Grand Line has had a devil fruit that he's faced. Devil fruits, as much as we know as the reader, in other countries, they're really still a mystery. In Fishman Island and even Wano, where they're deemed sorcery. The speculation does run wild because Jabra said, again, they say an actual devil lives inside each fruit. He was shown up by Blue Nose shortly after, which gives us a basis of eating 2 devil fruits. It cannot happen. The last person that did that, according to them, his body fractured until there was nothing left of it. So that's something we thought we knew about devil fruits, and that it was strictly forbidden, well, until Teach. Rumors aside from how he did it, he managed to take Whitebeard's devil fruit and now wields 2 of the stronger devil fruits in the history of One Piece. This does make me wonder about the world government and their experiments, because do we think they just tried one person? I believe they were running through different people trying to find the secrets of devil fruits, and Vegapunk was probably over the entire thing, which I'm not saying Vegapunk is a bad guy, but I think science is always the priority, even over human life, and Bonnie and Kuma, they're examples of that. Back to Blackbeard, I think they just didn't understand the parameters the way Blackbeard did, the world government I'm talking about. Not saying anyone that knows what Blackbeard knows can accomplish this, because he has a special body, but knowledge is power. Marco did mention that Blackbeard has a weird body, and he wasn't talking about how he was shaped, okay? There's more to that monster. But devil fruit powers also, for whatever reason, can extend to a user's clothing. For Caribou, he was able to procure an attack from his shirt sleeve. It's odd, but the strangest thing we found out in Wano was easily Queen being able to make cybernetic enhancements congruently with his devil fruit, which shows that you literally become your fruit, and whatever you would like to do with it seems to be an object of your own desires. There's no limitations. Now, back to my whole point about desire fruits, you may disagree, but I'm of the notion that if someone else ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or rather the Nika fruit, they would have completely different abilities. Now, to be fair, I don't think there are that many people capable of awakening that fruit, but that's a different conversation. I mean, other than Luffy, we think of what, Gold Roger? There are a few other people, but I'm gonna let you guys guess that while you hit the subscribe button, okay? They watch a few videos, then realize you're not subscribed. It is my desire for you to hit that button, and let's move on though, because there's a lot to get to. Something else to keep in mind is that devil fruits, as far as we know, causes no effect to the user's children. For all of Big Mom's kids, they have their own fruit powers. None was born with lightning or sun powers just because, or even an affinity with souls, as far as we know. There was also a mistranslation which set the community in a tizzy, along with myself, because it stated that you learn the name of the fruit when you gain its power. That presented several issues for people, including myself, because, well, Luffy had been saying Gomu Gomu when it's really Nika Nika. However, this has been debunked by different translations, which this means that they learn the name of the fruit through the use of the fruit. Now, Luffy's still saying Gomu Gomu even while using Gear 5, so it's much ado about nothing, but something that was interesting back then. Now, I'm assuming the Devil Fruit Encyclopedia is basically for rich and famous, as the Vinsmoke had one, and now Vegapunk. I would assume Sabo's family did as well, but not something you ever cared about, but it just doesn't end up in everyone's hands. We do find out in one of the recent chapters, but all the way back when it was first revealed, that they did everything to try to erase this fruit, the Nika fruit. It not being in the database makes a ton of sense. Do we see this database? We'll see, but I would assume things like that, even the bust sizes of different characters in the verse, may make its way in there. For some reason, I just started thinking about Big Mom. We knew Paramecia devil fruits are by far the most common fruit type, and I want to say it's my favorite, but I love Logias so much, and Zoans, they're making a late comeback. Yes, regular Zoans can kick rocks for the most part, but how drippy Rob Lucci was looking in his awakening form has me thinking about the likes of Dalton and Kaku. I just lied, I do not care about Dalton's awakening. But for the mythical Zoans, how would that work? We've had a discourse about Kaido's awakening, but because it's a mythical Zoan, I would assume the awakenings will vary, since the powers vary so greatly. Time will tell, I hope. Long story short, Zoans for me are still at the bottom, even though they have some of the best fruits with Marco and Yamato, Kaido, even Sengoku. And for Paramecia, of course, that would be Luffy. Okay, that's hilarious because I legitimately still think of Luffy as a Paramecia when he's now a Zoan. Okay, not Luffy anymore. I hope people caught up to the manga watching this video, but for Paramecia, we have Law, Whitebeard, Katakuri, Doflamingo, and the list goes on and on and on. But for Logia fruits, oh man, the only one that people really sleep on is Caribou's, and his is a bottomless pit, okay? This fruit just seems mid because he is. The fruit could be pretty good in the right hands either way. Other than him, every single Logia is top tier. Enel, Akainu, Kizaru, Akiji, Ace, Blackbeard, they actually go crazy. Next thing is the process of reincarnation when it comes to devil fruits. We're told that if the owner of the fruit croaks or dies, that the fruit will reappear somewhere else in the world. Doflamingo must have had great systems in place as he managed to acquire the Murmur no Mi amidst all the chaos in the war, but that's where he thrives, so I get it. But we saw how it reincarnated through Smiley and Punk Hazard, but Blackbeard was able to get the fruit immediately. With what we now know about green blood and Paramecia fruits, it does beg the question, did Blackbeard use this method to acquire the old man's fruit? It is terrifying, okay? And Oda might have just made devil fruits completely broken for several reasons. One, if the green blood theory is something that can be replicated by regular humans and not just people with special bodies like Blackbeard, things could get scary. Vegapunk explained that if you could synthesize, meaning produce by combining other substances, you could harness the power of that user using their lineage factor. And that's someone that's eating the Paramecia devil fruit. Now, if you guys have watched The Boys and understand how Compound V works, you're way ahead of everyone else, but here's my possible fear. What if this thing being synthesized then starts acting like a temporary boost to anyone who is administered the drug, meaning it becomes mass produced, and any user with a quick injection temporarily as this course through their veins can use a specific devil fruit power. This is the main reason why I doubt the green blood theory for Blackbeard, as Vegapunk had to create this green blood for the Seraphim. Blackbeard was under there for a short time, so I don't think he had time to create a substance. Unless he just straight up drank Whitebeard's blood or ate his heart, it had to be a different method. Now, to the true purpose here, because we can confirm these powers are busted, especially with the Seraphim, but what about these origins? That's the big mystery here. This is weird, but it seems devil fruits are objects of human desire. Okay, it is of course presented as a theory, but when the authority on all things devil fruits has a theory, it can almost be treated as fact. It's a few things you must cross-reference, and that is the sun god, based on what Vegapunk said, and also what Who's Who said to Jinbei. Now, before Jinbei made short work of Rob Lucci Light, Who's Who said that there was a figure slaves would pray to in the past, hoping this legendary warrior would free them one day. He then said, did he exist, or did they dream him up? These things in isolation sound like a fairy tale, a bunch of made-up blabber. With context from the greatest mind ever, things don't seem too crazy anymore. Here we have Who's Who, essentially corroborating Vegapunk's theory, and well, the One Piece world is a strange place. They're said to represent different branches of humanity's future, as well as possibly existing in different dimensions. In the world of One Piece, we have dimensional travel via the Mirror World and even through Mondor's book, and we can't forget Bluno. What does the D mean? Could it be dawn, dream, desire, maybe all three depending on the person? I've seen numerous opinions on the possibility of devil fruits being somewhat dream fruits or desire fruits dreamt up by someone in the past, really wishing for or needing the power. I mean, it's been overwhelmingly positive, and I, for one, I love the explanation. It leaves the weird, quirky, dreamy world of One Piece intact, and it also leaves it open for interpretation as to how these fruits came about. Natural occurrences dreamt by desperate people in desperate need. I mean, one may ask, why the hell would anyone ask for mucus? But you could understand the Opi Opi no Mi to cure a very bad disease, the Jacket no Mi to look fresh while wearing someone else to a movie premiere, the Mara no Mi for a fire on a cold wintry night, or even the Nagi no Mi, Corazon's devil fruit when talking to your girlfriend at night. When you're younger, you don't want your parents to hear, okay? There are several instances where these could be wished for and desired for in moments of need. But with all that being said, here's the bottom line. The truth about devil fruits, we're still somewhat waiting for a bit more confirmation, but based on what we know about the sea devil and his disdain for devil fruit eaters, mainly because of how unnatural it is, tells us all we need to know about this strange world. Some of us did expect a somewhat logical, straightforward answer like a devil fruit tree or something, but then where did that tree come from? The supernatural always existed. Oda's just leaning into it and continuing the narrative of the importance of dreams in the story. They never die, and in some instances, may truly come alive. Do we get some insight on the first occurrence of a devil fruit via flashback, etc.? Maybe. But until then, we have to accept the fact that these fruits just appeared through human desire and dreams and even desperation. The will of D, it's alive and well, which could play a part in all this too. I made a devil fruit tier list a year ago. You can let me know if it aged well.